Hi everyone, I'm back again with another video, and as per the title, it's a big grid video today, and I'm just going to allow this to play out for the first corner. You'll see why in a minute, but I'm driving the Porsche 911 at Zolder with a very large grid. Coming into the very first corner, you see we get punted on the rear, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6, I'd say 7 to 8 times I got hit there, literally on the first corner. Just hit smack bang in the middle of that grid, and yeah, just got turned around. Unfortunate. But anyway, welcome to the video. It was an hour's race at Zolder for MrGit's big race. And as you can see, there's 44 on the grid at the moment, and I'm now down to, well, it's saying I'm last. Massive amount of damage, and I thought, you know how competitive all this is. There's absolutely no way on earth I'm going to get anything out of this race. Really disappointed with myself, because the car had potential. So just a bit of information on this one. You can see I'm on wet tyres. They're already starting to get quite hot, and that is simply because it was a wet/damp race to start with. So I ran on a wet setup because I thought generally the race might be wet. You can see that at least for the next 10-15 minutes it was going to be wet. So I've managed to make it back in to the pits, where I'm basically going to get the car repaired, and I'm going to swap out onto dries and just going to try and literally make it for the next hour running on slick tyres. So it was a minute and 15 seconds to repair all of this stuff. Immediately jumped to 33rd, and I think that's because, as you can see, we lost some people. So completed the pit stop, decided to go on to dry tyres, and just a reminder for people, this race had a mandatory 1 pit stop. So if you were on wets, you're going to look to change over onto dry at some point. Now you see here, I've gone out, literally gone wide, and I'm thinking to myself, look, gone wide again, and I'm thinking, I can't believe this. I mean, look at the tyre temperatures. They're all in blue. It's not really getting green at all, and I'm thinking, have I completely, totally and utterly made the wrong choice of tyre? And actually wet tyres are still optimum. And yeah, again, not only have I been punted out, have I now completely picked the wrong tyres, and are we really going to suffer? I mean, to be fair, you know, I'm not all over the place. Granted, I've got this car up behind me, 36th, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I've just got to get used to how the car's handling, where I'm strongest, where I'm weakest, and am I gaining on anyone in front. The HUD on the left hand side was removed at this point, but hold your horses, because that will come back as we go along, as you can see there. So my plan was to basically continue as best I can, in hope that I don't lose too much time to everyone, and yeah, just really see how we get on with these tyres. Hopefully try and build up some tyre temperature quite quickly into the tyres, and then basically just start making my way back while everyone just falls off the track or overheats their tyres, and I'm hoping that I can sort of get the undercut. Got these two ahead, so already I'm sort of thinking I'm actually gaining quite quickly. I mean, that Lamborghini nearly hit me up the rear, but 34th ahead in the Ferrari. You know, I'm actually, unless he's very slow, I'm actually doing quite well, and I'm slowly gaining on these two with 53 minutes to go, so easily accelerate past that Ferrari, and yeah, just basically trying to make a move on the rest of the field. So we've done nearly 12 minutes now. 32nd place, still sliding about, still not. Well, we've got 2 cars going off now, and we're very quickly gaining on that Porsche of Jorgen ahead. We're going to take him into the chicane. No, we're going to back out of that a bit. Again, not really sure on what people's tyres are at this stage, but I'm assuming that most of them are on wets and they're starting to overheat slightly. I mean, you can see the windscreen wipers going, so there is still rain. I mean, he's running wide, so maybe his tyres are starting to go off. Yeah, he's scrabbling about a bit. But yeah, look, I mean, tyre temperatures are not good for me, but I'm having not too much problem really with finding track time as I go straight down the inside. Do I manage to hold it off? There's a tiny bit of a touch there, unfortunately, but we're up to 30th. But yeah, so my main now issue was that I'm running a wet setup, and you know, it's not wet, and I'm going to have to make various adjustments to the traction control, the ABS, and various other little sort of things that I can adjust, just so I don't end up having this awful car that's going to potentially I'm going to have to drive in the wet. So yeah, now it looks like we're gaining on the Aston Martin, and again, he nearly loses the rear end, but look at how much we've just gained on him there. So we're going to try and take him into the last corner. Getting alongside him, no, just holding out the braking slightly, just sort of just seeing how we get on as he sort of takes the line better than me. So but you know, we're 15 minutes in, and he runs a bit wide there, and again I've got the run on him. We're going to go down the inside into turn 2. Have we got him? We have got him. There's a bit of a bug there. There's a Aston Martin just appears to be sitting in the middle of the racing line. But 26th place now, and what's the weather? So the weather's now saying that it is drying up. So we've got, these tyres should start coming into effect shortly. You see the windscreen wiper has now turned itself off. So we're running on dries. We've got Sick ahead of me in 24th. Again, no idea about what the tyres are, but you can see that we are now making inroads into the rest of the field. And with 37 minutes to go, sort of my confidence is really quite starting to build. As I say, it's just my setup really, and whether or not this lot ahead have got dry setup. But you can see I'm sort of flicking through the HUD, and I'm going to slowly start to adjust various features of the car as it basically dries out. We're getting a bit of a traffic jam going on now. So we've got Sick. We also got 13th place. So he's now technically, he's lapped me, but we are quicker than him. And he's also struggling. So I wonder if he's on wets. And Sick just gets it very sideways out of that corner, but that was an easy pass, nicely done. And yeah, we're up to 24th now, as 13th I think went into the pit lane there, so I'd imagine it's to swap over onto slicks. So the undercut's slowly starting to work for me, and I'm sort of thinking as well that these slicks are going to take me easily to the end of the race, so we won't have to worry about that. It's literally just keeping pace and yeah, seeing how we get on. But you see we've got now 1, 2, 3, 4 cars ahead. So we've got Samuel into 23rd, so he's going to be my next target in that Aston Martin. We'll see how we get on. We've got blue flags waving. They're not really affecting me, so I don't have to worry about that. But it looks to be that there's this mix-up because of the weather, that there are faster cars behind cars that are actually technically in front, and us slower ones at the beginning are now starting to catch this lot. So yeah, we've got to find how we're going to get past Samuel. He is being held up, so as whether or not we're going to be able to sort of think or find a way to pass him. His racing lines are very good, but I do think that we are being held up here now, and that's going to be the issue. Got a Ferrari running wide there. I think that's Marchi ahead. So there's a potential we could literally jump up. I mean, yeah, that Aston Martin gets a bit crossways. I'll try to have a little look. Not going to pass him. He's very defensive, so that's very good driving by him. Into the chicane. Better acceleration out of that, I'd say, in my Porsche than the Aston Martin. So that gave me a bit more confidence. But coming into this chicane here, seeing how everyone gets on. Again, if people are running tyres that are either overheating or they're on the wrong compound, then places like that chicane is going to do me very well as we go on late into the race. But we're coming up nearly to halfway through. 22nd. We've got Sick behind me who's... Oh, we've got a yellow flag. What's going on here? No, it's gone green, so that's not affected us at all. We've got Motor Club behind, so we have got a bit of pressure from behind. So in goes the Ferrari, so that is going to be like 13th place now. But look at the run I've got now on Samuel in his Aston Martin. We're going to go into the first corner. Is he back? He's backed off, easily backed off. And we've also got someone going off, the McLaren also going off. So that's 2 spaces in one corner. And we are past... Well, that was Hatter, I think. So Hatter, again, I'd imagine his tyres are going. And that was the reason also why he was going off. So, yeah, we are basically cutting our way back through the field. But at the same time, we're also getting closer to the front. And we are significantly faster than those that have technically lapped me. But next up, we have the Ferrari of Marchi, the white Ferrari. So we'll see how we get on with him, see where we're fastest and where we're slowest. He's running very wide there, and yeah, we'll see what we can do. He's quite quick out of that corner, so we'll see how we go into the hairpin here. Better on the brakes than the Ferrari, certainly, just really went straight up behind him. I think the acceleration is slightly better on the Ferrari than it is on the Porsche. I'd imagine he's probably pit now, so it's literally just going to be a fight between me and him. But nearly take him out, which would have been very embarrassing. And we've got Samuel now also on my rear end, who really wants to fully take advantage of that. Yeah, as we now move along. So we've moved along another lap, and look, I've got the run on that Ferrari, and it looks like I'm going to take him as we go round this left-hander. And we're through. Nicely done. No contact as well. Some nice clean driving. And yeah, we're up another place. So things looking good now as we go, well, halfway through the race distance. So we are currently 19th, and Laboran, pronounce that, is ahead in 18th in the Lamborghini. 28 minutes to go. I'm going to look the inside. That could be a nice easy pass into the last corner, and that was very nice indeed. That was quite easy, very easy actually. Tyre temperatures, as you can see now, starting to go ever so slightly green. So again, building up those temperatures, and now we're 18 minutes to go. So we've jumped. There was a lot of single running now, whilst the grid sort of expands itself, and we're to 6:22 in the morning. And we've got Schuster ahead, also in a Lamborghini. I believe it's going to be the Super Trofeo that were being run. Very popular car around here. And Schuster gets it very wide on going out of that last corner. We've got the run on him. We're going to take him down the inside into turn 1. Can we hold it down into second through it? Nice and easy. So we've easily taken him. The car for a Porsche, actually, I've never been overly a massive fan of this car, but this car was proper sticking to the racetrack. I think that's something to do with the wet setup that I had. So although it wasn't necessarily the quickest, the amount of grip that I was getting was insane. But yeah, no, so as we skirt on now to 13 minutes left to go, 6:35 in the morning, still waiting for the sun to come up. Running in 18th, so we've gone from last now over the course of the last 45 minutes up to 18th place. De Jong is now ahead in the lovely looking yellow with blue wheels. Again, another Lamborghini, very popular around here. And you'll see that tyre temperatures are looking very good. The offside front is not quite getting the temperature that it needs, but what you're sort of looking at now really is everything's all nicely balanced out, apart from De Jong's car there, because he slid round that corner. Having watched the stream back live a couple of days ago, and unknown to me, De Jong's actually tyres were completely done. His rears had completely had it, so really I could have probably pushed him a lot more, and he's done very well for himself to be able to continue with this car when those rears are completely gone. As we skip through the chicane again, he's fighting that car quite a bit. Schuster's also giving me a run for my money. He's not letting me go either. So we're sort of in this Lamborghini sandwich, which I can't even... see, those Lamborghinis on their brakes are very good. And I've lost a bit of ground now to De Jong. But then at the same time, Schuster came up so fast behind me that he had to get out of it. And it's given me a bit of breathing space. But you've got now we've run a bit wide. Is that going to hamper me? Not really, so we don't have to really defend into the last corner. Yeah, so we've got Turley, we've got Hatter, Turley and De Jong now all running ahead. And I'm sort of thinking to myself that actually this is going to get very juicy now with the last sort of 10 minutes remaining of the race. Obviously these are very, very good drivers. We're in a very sort of high intensity race, and these people don't hang around and they don't mess around either. So for me to try and actually gain on these people, it's really going to be down to the car and whether or not the car is more suited and the tyres are working better than the others. But unfortunately I'm not really knowing about that at the moment. All I know is that I have a very, very good car that has sort of performed really well from sort of, I don't know, about 15 minutes in when it literally started to come together. But again, these could be running on dry setup for all I know. But what I do know is, yeah, running 17th now, out of a grid of whatever it was, 44 that we started on, and being literally taken out and lost so much time at the beginning, that actually I'm quite happy with the way things are going. Unfortunately, De Jong's tyres were just holding out a bit too much at this rate, and I was just got this bad feeling that it really, really wasn't going to go my way. And yeah, just not making any inroads. So, as you can hear from the engine sound, the car, you know, really sounding very, very nice, sounding very direct, not a huge amount of loss of grip, you know, traction control not really kicking in. Granted, you know, there's a few corners which you could take flat, but unfortunately in this car you can't. I think that's just down to how it was set up originally at the start of the race. Normally that's not an issue, but still struggling with Dijon after a number of laps now. Really hoping that something was going to happen, but this trail that we've got ahead, which involves Turley, Venman and Dijon, it's just not really changing anything. Schuster's getting quite close up behind us, so we've also got that to deal with. And I was starting to think that this could be it, and really the only way we're going to pass this lot is if people start making sort of mistakes. And Schuster and Hatter, both behind me, are very quick drivers. Top left hand corner, you see that we're still setting personal bests. Obviously each corner comes up, you know, it sort of varies as to, see, we've lost time there. As you can see that the Lamborghini just hops through that chicane quite nicely, breaking down into the brakes, into this chicane here. The Lamborghini takes that a lot better, and then we lose track a bit. Got a green flag, so that someone's sort of gone wrong behind us. So we're coming up to the hairpin. How are we doing here? So a bit of time found there, but we've now got, so we've got Samuel, Hatter and Schuster behind us, all battling it out. I'm just trying to work out what we're going to do here as we come into the final chicane. But we move on now with 4.5 minutes to go, 7 o'clock in the morning. Nothing changed too much, but you'll see that BMW with M6 of Turley makes a mistake, and that gives Dijon it gives him, if we look into the hairpin there, he holds back, but Turley outbrakes himself. I nearly collect him, but it's suddenly just given me that extra bit of oomph to realise that actually we could be still making places just prior to the end of this race. So final corner, Dijon gets it completely wrong. He taps the curb and that sends the rear round of his Lamborghini, and that's pretty much the end of his race. And we've got the run on Turley as we go into turn 1. He holds it around the outside. Oh, this is going to be close. As we go into turn 2, I've got the outside, but no, we're not going to do it, unfortunately. But look, we've got the run on him again. Unfortunately, no, it's just not the corner to overtake him, and we're not going to be able to do that, unfortunately. Turley just about holds on to 14th place. 3 minutes to go, so we're probably looking at no more than this lap, maybe another lap after that. And now Hatter in the McLaren is very quickly coming up behind us. So second to last corner, hairpin, we've got Kruger in the Ferrari nearly trying to take me, but I don't think this is going to change anything. It looks like we're going to finish 15th. Turley keeps 14th. Unfortunate for me, because I felt that I was probably going to, maybe with a couple more laps to go, could have passed him. And yeah, that's the end of the race. 15th from pretty much last with all those issues. I was quite happy indeed for me. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you all again soon. Until then, see you later.